Today's companion is Rafayel, Lemurian Sea God. Sea God is a limited yellow solar myth pair and unlocks the specialty matching sword for MC called Ballad of Ebbs. As the Sea God, Rafayel has the power of the Sea God's tome and commands waves, water, and lightning to take down his enemies in force. His powers are centered around his awesome fishtail and trident, and he's described by the game as DPS, AoE, and Empower. He's really a damage-dealing, slippery murder fish scaling on attack percent and defense percent, 3 times higher for defense. And his mechanics have to do with state changes with battle resource bars and dodging, but in the dash sense. But, perfect dodges are always helpful. There are some additional terms and skills for Sea God, but I'll simplify them in a bit. Sea God's Mark is a buff that enhances your next charge attack damage by 50% and makes you unstoppable. It refreshes automatically over time or instantly when using your active. It's that tiny square over your HP bar. Below your HP bar, you have a battle resource bar that fills up on each side. Ripple Breath fills using basic or charge attacks and is on the left side of the resource bar. Raging Tide fills up using support skills and is on the right side of the bar. Ocean's Descent activates when your dual bar is full. This button is what activates your empowered state change, Divine Favor, which lasts for 11 seconds, changes your skills, and empowers your dodge. When you use your active skill during Divine Favor and hit an enemy, it creates a lightning crystal. It looks more like a shiny orb on the field than an actual crystal. When activated by dashing through it, it restores 0.3 energy and reduces active cooldown by 3.3 seconds, shattering said crystal to create Lightning Tide, which is an AoE burst and will detonate other crystals in range. In certain ranks, Rafayel can detonate the crystals on his own, or all of them will just detonate when the Divine Favor state ends. The matching weapon to Sea God is Ballad of Ebbs, and legit my favorite sword in the game. It's described as a DPS burst single target weapon and, like the Sea God himself, scales on attack and defense, with defense being the primary scaling stat. The weapon's passive is that your charge attack is empowered by the Sea God's Mark, increasing damage and restoring 0.5 energy. Your active is a dash that makes you invincible while using, and allows you to create lightning crystals during Divine Favor. In addition to the standard 5-star myth ranks, Sea God's matching solar pair ranks are as follows. The starting effect is that when your basic attack hits, Sea God Mark's cooldown is reduced by 0.8 seconds. Additionally, when Lightning Tide hits weakened enemies, it extends the weakened duration by 0.5 seconds. With rank 1, when Divine Favor is active, Raph throws his trident and that generates a vortex and pulls enemies towards it for additional CC. Additionally, lightning will just randomly strike for more damage. With rank 2, the damage boost from Sea God's Mark is increased by 50%, and with Divine Favor active, you get 40% damage reduction. At rank 3, when Divine Favor is active, your active skill cooldown is reduced by 0.5 seconds. When charge attacks empowered by the Sea God hit, Lightning Tide is triggered for 70% more damage. The real difference between the ranks is that Raph adds more passive damage to the whole field with each passing rank and doesn't have a big physical gameplay change that your thumbs have to worry about, say, like someone like Xavier's Dark Knight. Sea God is super smooth and my favorite of the third myth companions to play. The goal is to weaken an enemy, enter Divine Favor, and burst said enemy down. Sea God works super well on single target bosses and can be effective in larger groups with the exploding lightning crystals if you can position the crystal in the center of the group. The rotation is basically the same for all ranks. You want to generate Ocean's Descent as quickly as possible. There's a small trick you can do at the battle start before you cross the blue line to officially start the battle and have the Wanderers enter the screen. Toss your support skill immediately. It will count towards filling Raging Tide, and then you can resonate in the field after you cross the blue start line. By the time you finish that, the support skill should be refilled, and you can throw it again to completely fill that side of the resource bar. Otherwise, Sea God plays like most other companions. Resonate, support, charge attack to consume your mark. Use your basic attacks to fill the other side of the resource bar, and use your support skill whenever it's available to, of course, fill the opposing side of the resource bar. Then, activate Ocean's Descent. You should always try to activate it when the enemy is weakened, aka you've broken their shields, because if you're playing with the matching myth cards, the starting effect includes Lightning Tide extending the weakened duration. Also, Lads is a burst game, so I, highly recommend you burst. Anyway, activate Divine Favor State, and you'll notice a rhythm. Here's the best case. Charge attack to consume your Sea God mark, then active skill dash to generate a lightning crystal. Then dash through the crystal you just created to burst it and cool down your active skill faster. Then charge attack again, consuming that refreshed Sea God mark, and rinse and repeat 2 more times. You should be able to pull off all 3 crystal bursts before weakened state ends. As Sea God scales primarily on defense, prioritize defense bonus across your secondary stats when possible. He does also scale on attack, so you can include attack bonus if you have the Protocores for it, but as mentioned in the rotation, Sea God can extend damage to weakened state and is a hardy, bursty merman, so I'd prioritize damage to weakened over the secondary attack bonus, but work with whatever Protocores the Protocore gods have given you. Personally, I find that Sea God has a lot of built-in energy regeneration, so you shouldn't need expedited energy boost. Thus, I tend to prioritize Oath stats instead. As I said, Sea God is my favorite of the third myth battle companions. He's a smooth, solid, sexy murder fish where his rotation becomes second nature, like the sea. If you enjoy playing companions like Lemurian Sea God, you might like these. For more state change carnage, really any third myth companion, but I highly recommend Xavier, King of Dark Knight for similar gameplay. If you're into Mark and Detonate, try Sylus, Relentless Conqueror, or Zayne, God of Annihilation. Feel free to drop me any questions or comments below, and practice makes you better than auto. So get out there and ride the tide. Otherwise, check out this companion video next, or you can review Lad's Battle Basics here. Happy hunting!